won't go back. I done got my life back, just like that. I can't go back, and I won't go back. I done got my life back, how you like that? Hours of threats, we got into everything. Married my misery, ain't got a wedding ring. Don't need your empathy, though, it's embarrassing. I kinda miss it, though, and it's been scaring me. I got a lot on my mind, going through something I'll never let out of my mouth. If for me to say that, you know that it's gotta be heavy. You know what I do, what I'm about. I tell you whatever.
Good day, my non-active friends, my active friends, my triers, my strugglers, and my survivors of addiction and mental health. How are you all doing? It's me, Paul, Addict Mentor. My name's Paul. I'm an addict in recovery, and I'm a qualified mentor. How about that for a name? I like it. I chose it. I stuck with it. And here we are, 4 years non-active in my addictions, 4 years of sobriety, 4 years of recovery. You know, I use several different languages to explain the same thing because guess what? There are many, many different ways to recover. I personally use my own recovery program, which is the non-active approach, which means I ensure that I stay non-active in my addictions, which are any substances really, but my main two are heroin and crack cocaine. I was fully blown in active addiction with heroin and crack cocaine for almost 3 decades, 30 years. And it should have destroyed me. It destroyed many of the people I know, grew up with, used with, lived time on the streets with. So I want to share something with you because I get asked all the time, Paul, how did you do it? How did you get yourself to be in a situation? And I will usually say, oh, it's my partner, you know, but it's more than that. It wasn't the prison. It wasn't my partner. It wasn't my kids. It was a combination of all of those things and my 5 rules to recovery. Now, these rules are very important. They have kept me clean and sober, like I said, for just over 4 years now. I'm going to start with step 1, or rule 1, shall we say. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with those around you. What does that mean? In the 12-step program, they would say your first step is admitting you have a problem. Admitting you have a problem is you being honest with yourself. Admitting you have a problem is you being honest with those around you. It is so important because as active addicts, we spent so much of our time lying, manipulating, telling people what they wanted to hear, never really owning up to our behaviors, never having anything to feel great about because we were being dishonest, we were being manipulative, and it's a brute of understanding because if you don't actually understand that the behaviors that you were displaying when you were in active addiction were horrible, then you're not being honest with yourself. If you don't realize the way you used to manipulate people to get money was horrible, you're not being honest with yourself. If you've still not admitted to your partner, to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your nana, your gran, you're not being honest. Rule 1 of my 5 rules are be honest with yourself and others. That's a great first step because then it leads beautifully, seamlessly into step 2. You've admitted you've got a problem now. You've been open and honest with people. Now you've got to be able to ask for help when you know you need it. Ooh, asking for help, mind. That's a proper demon one because guess what? As addicts in recovery, addicts in active addiction, the last thing we like to do is ask for help. I don't need help. I can do it on my own. I'm a G. I don't need you coming and getting in my space. But when we want recovery, we want sobriety, we want to be non-active in our addictions, we have to ask for help. We have to reach out to the people who we've just opened up and been honest with and say, I can't do this anymore on my own. I need you to help me. I've been lost in addiction for X amount of time, and now I am ready to change. I know what I was doing doesn't work for me. I know that, buying myself a lump of drugs and detoxing myself, reducing, doesn't work. I need professional help. So I'm going to go to see the psychiatrist, the psychologist, the drugs counselor, my GP, physiotherapist, whatever it is you need, that's what you need to go and ask for. It seems so simplistic for people who've not done active addiction, but for us who have been in the grind, in the hustle, in the meat of the situation, we know asking for help isn't easy, but we know asking for help will seriously improve what we are trying to do. So what have we got? We've got being honest. We've got being honest with others. We've got asking for help. And not just asking for help when we need a 20 quid. We're talking about asking for help to help us recover, to help us find that we can live our best lives. That stuff is not easy, but it's doable. Trust me, because I do it. I know when I need things now, I need to ask for help. I know if I had a relapse or I was thinking of relapse, I'd need to reach out for help straight away. And that's us moving forward. Rule 3. This is a really very, very important one. Make changes in your life. What I mean by that, you need to be changing the people you associate with, the places, and the things that you do. Right? I'll break it down into smaller chunks. Make changes in your life. Change the people. So many of us think we've built friendship for life with other addicts because it's a small community and we feel safe. However, when you're trying to find your sobriety, you're trying to find your recovery, trying to get non-active in your addictions, those people, if they're not heading in the same direction as you, they don't want to see you get clean and sober. Guess why? Because if I'm using and you're using, that's twice as the advantage of being able to score, being able to make money, not overdosing on my own. We're selfish. People in active addiction don't want other addicts to get clean and sober because they've convinced themselves that it's the scariest, hardest, most painful thing to do a drugs withdrawal. Now, I'm telling you, it's not. But you can speak to someone in active addiction today and you will see the fear in their eyes worse than if you tied them to a train track and the train was coming towards them. Change the people you associate with. Change the places that you go. I know addicts who have got themselves clean and they still hang around in crack houses trying to prove how strong they are. But what they don't realize at that moment is they've already relapsed because they're watching it, they're seeing it, they're doing it. These places that we used to associate with, burnt out houses, crack houses, stairways of people's front basements. Oh, some of the places that we go when we are in active addiction is terrible. If you live in an area and you can't avoid certain areas, right? You can't help where you brought up or where you grew up or where you live. But if you are needing to go to the shops, plan your route. Make sure you don't stop on the way here or there. Don't put yourself in danger. Change from these negative places to these positive spaces. And I promise you, life will become far more easier for you to deal with, for you to handle. And finally, change the things that we do. Change the things that we do. Because when in active addiction, all we seem to do are negative things. You know, it can even come down to two of you have gone to score some drugs and you're chilling together and you've been chilling together for ages, and you sit there and you start getting negative thoughts, negative emotions in your brain, right? So we need to change that. Always look for light in the darkness, not don't put darkness in the light, because the darkness will infect that light so quick. And in active addiction, you get a lot of that. A lot of positive stuff just gets trampled on, stamped on, and thrown out the window. Change the mindset of I can't do it to I'm going to try to do it, to I can do it, to I will do it, to I am doing it. Change the things you say from I can't deal with these people to do you know what? I'm struggling today and it's my stuff. Change the way that you talk, way that you think, way that you act. Because the way you act in active addiction, normal members of society do not act like that. They would be shocked if they knew some of the ways we behave. Rule 4: practice self care in all areas of your life. That sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? It's not, because addicts don't take care of themselves when they're active addiction. Addicts do struggle on a daily. Addicts don't want to get out of bed sometimes. So we have to make sure we get up, we have a shave, we do our hair, we wash our face, we brush our teeth. Make sure our area around us, our homes, are tidy and secure. We're not letting people abuse our space. And that is one of the most important rules: self care. Because you cannot care for anyone, unless you care for yourself. Self love, self care before you care or love for anyone. Now, when I say self love and self care, I'm not talking about you have to go out and get in a relationship tomorrow. However, I don't go by the adage of you can't get in a relationship whilst in recovery or for the first year or whatever, because love is love, and human beings seek comfort, reassurance, love, and care. So, let me just go through rule 4 again, rule 1 to 4 again. The 5 rules to live by to become a non active addict are: 1. Be honest with yourself and others. 2. Ask for help when you need it in your life. 3. Make changes in your life via people, places, and things, and phone numbers. Please change your phone number. Don't hold on to that old phone number, because every drug dealer's got that number. 4. Practice self-care. Look after yourself. Look the way I'm living. It's nice now. I've got a wardrobe full of clothes. I'm clean. I'm tidy. I look, all the things that I didn't when I was in active addiction, even though I told myself I was looking great. Rule 5. Rule 5 is really important, because if you don't abide by this rule, you're done. And rule 5 is this: don't bend. Rule 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's as simple as that. If you abide by these rules, I'm guaranteeing you can get clean, sober, non-active in your addictions. Have a fantastic day, you absolute amazing people. I will be live and direct tomorrow, 9 a.m. on TikTok. Peace, love, and unity.